All right, hello and welcome back to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports. It is Robbie Fox, and I am joined by Kevin Owens for the first time in almost 4 years. It's 4 years ago this week we last did an interview, which I feel bad about. I want to get you on the show more, but I also feel bad asking you to come on the show. I feel like I'm pulling teeth with you here, but appreciate the time. Thanks for
That's a
having.
wild lie. How could you feel like you're pulling teeth? Get out of here, man.
I don't know. You're doing media anyway, and I know you're always constantly, traveling on the road wherever. So I appreciate you taking the time coming on
Yeah.
the show as always.
I only wish I was
Um,
actually in your mom's basement. We need to
I
act
know we haven't
there.
done an in-person one in
Got to do it.
forever. Ever? Have we ever done one? I
We've
don't
never
know.
done it in person. Yeah. No.
Messed up. If we ever do one, I'll get a My Mom's Basement sign that looks like the old Steen Show sign. You know what I
Oh
mean? The
yeah.
high spot sign.
Need a cane mask.
Yeah, yeah, I'll get one of them too.
All right.
Not to kick things off on like a somber note, but as of today, I'm seeing a lot of word on Twitter, online that you're potentially dealing with an injury right now leading into WrestleMania. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So obviously this is going to be after SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'm actually going to announce tonight I can't do WrestleMania. Yeah.
And why is that? Are you willing to disclose what the
I'm
injury is?
Yeah, I have to go have neck surgery, which 25 years in with the stuff I've done, I feel like it was bound to happen. But it sucks, man. The timing sucks for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very sorry about that. The timing is obviously.
Like I said, I knew, I hope it would never happen. Obviously, nobody hopes for it, but I kind of felt like I just did an interview with Chris and I was telling him how for doing this for 25 years, I feel really great. And even now I feel great. I do. It's not like a constant problem. But over the last few months, I've had an issue in my matches that made me go, I think something's not right. And then we looked into it and found out, yeah, there's something going on with my neck. So
And is it a buildup of the 25 years of your career? Was there like a specific moment the neck was injured? Do you even know that?
yeah, no, so I know for a fact there's a specific moment because in December, I did a full body MRI just on my own for curiosity, just like to make sure, to see if there's anything that I should be aware of, and it's kind of the thing where like, yeah, you could see if you have issues with your bone structure or whatever, or even like, organs, anything like that. And at the time, the report came back that my knees were shit, but I've been well aware of that for a long time, so there's no concern there. And then there's something about my spine and mild to moderate stenosis, which for what we do, and I showed it to the WWE doctors and like, yeah, for what you guys do, everyone's got a level of stenosis. Everyone on Earth walking around has a level of stenosis. Um, but yours is your spine and your neck and everything looks good. Everything looks good for what you've been doing. You're fine. So I was like, great, and I felt great. But then in January, I had a match, and in the match, two things happened that really jarred my neck, and that's when the issues started. So I knew there was something, and then we ended up doing an MRI this week and found out that yeah, it's serious. So yeah, so I think that match in January is what did it because I had an MRI a month before that and everything looked fine. So
Yeah, that's tough. I know it's so fresh, obviously, as well, but do you know if it's comparable at all to wrestling neck injuries that we've seen in the past? Like, have you hit up anyone yet that
um,
obviously has had neck injuries or dealt with them?
yeah, I've talked to a few people. I honestly, it's kind of funny when the WWE doctor called me to tell me about it. I was so uh, shocked because I knew there was something wrong, but I didn't expect it to be it's so wrong that you can't even do WrestleMania. I thought yeah, we'll take care of it after WrestleMania. So when he told me I couldn't do it, I was so shocked that I stopped listening to him almost. And he was he was explaining to me everything that's happening, what we're gonna do. And I honestly, right now, I can't even sit here and tell you I know what the next step is, but I kind of almost don't know what the exact injury is, like what's, the
Yeah.
actual like I know something's wrong with my neck and it's affecting my mobility or whatever. Um, but I was just so zoned out. So I don't know if it's similar or not to other people. I know that the solution is very similar to what a lot of other people have done. So I know that much, you know.
The
Um,
surgery you're talking about?
yeah, yeah, surgery, yeah.
Yeah. And do you have that scheduled? Is that like an immediate thing or no?
No, it's so new. This all happened yesterday. So obviously tonight is SmackDown. I'm gonna announce that I can't do WrestleMania, and then I'm gonna go see the crew we have in Birmingham to figure out what the next step is.
It sucks. I'm sorry, the timing is so bad on it. Like, are you dealing with it okay mentally now?
Yeah, I'm okay, man. I have a great support system. You know, I have my family is great. My coworkers are great and everything. It sucks, man. Just not getting to wrestle Randy Orton at WrestleMania really sucks.
Yeah.
Uh, that's the part that bugs me the most. At least, I know I'll come back. Or at the very least, I really hope I come back. I guess I never take anything for granted in what we do, so who knows? But pretty likely to come back. And then maybe we could do it eventually. But like this year was going to be, you know, this year is going to be me versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania, which is huge to me. So at least I have, I take comfort in knowing that I did it last year. I was in the ring with him at WrestleMania last year.
Yeah.
But this year we wouldn't have had the other annoying guy in it. That would have been nice, but it's okay.
Does it annoy you when things leak like this, like throughout the day, and
Yeah,
not the details of
yeah,
it, but the fact that, I mean, that's like straight up HIPAA stuff, right? Like we're talking about
yeah,
an
yeah.
injury.
Yeah, it really annoys me. Actually, I woke up to seeing that it was already leaked, and it really upsets me, especially because I know that whoever leaked it is some office employee that shouldn't know this shit in the first place. And that was I told people like this is gonna leak. They're like, no, we're keeping it tight knit. But then yesterday, obviously, some departments had to find out for some reasons, and now someone who shouldn't know this stuff found out, and it went where it shouldn't. And now I
Yeah,
don't. Now they took away my right to tell people because now everybody knows already. So
I
that
know. Do you know a timetable for return recovery, anything like that yet?
no, I don't know. I haven't talked to the surgeon or anything like that yet. I'm going to do all that on Monday. I mean, I know that most of the people that have gone through similar things have probably 6 months to 8 months to a year.
Yeah.
Uh, so I would assume it within those range, in that range, but I don't really know. Like I said, it's all really new right now.
Yeah. Do you think anything from the last two PLE matches you had like could have worsened it? I mean, you took some of the most insane bumps I've ever seen in both of those matches.
So this is the funny part, right? I know that some of my detractors, and there's plenty out there, will say, see, this is why you shouldn't do this stuff. This is why this is why that. But I am telling you, it happened in a regular match. No hardcore things, nothing.
Yeah.
There were two very simple things that I've done a million times. And then I had the other, ultimately probably shouldn't have had those matches considering what was happening, but we didn't know.
Yeah.
But in those matches, as crazy as they were, at no time did I feel like my neck, like I didn't land on my head, I didn't get hurt. Like I don't remember anything in those matches going, oh, my neck. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, like
Already that's been like speculation today when people are responding to the reports that you might have an injury. I've seen so many replies that were like, "Oh yeah, he was legitimately injured after this match. He looked legitimately injured after
I
this
mean a
match."
lot, but that's what a lot of people do, right? They make assumptions based on what they think they've seen, but our entire job, our entire craft is making people believe
Yeah.
something that's not actually happening. And I'm very good at that. So they can, you know what I mean? Like I saw people even try to claim that the barbed wire we use wasn't real because I wasn't bleeding, but like that's not how barbed wire works. If
Hmm.
you land in it and get caught up in it, it'll tear you up and then you'll bleed. But if you just land on it and it's wrapped tight around the chair, which it was, it's just gonna poke, which is what happened to me. I had pokes, but I just didn't, bleed all over the place. But that's just what people do. They assume um, and whatever. But like nothing I say will convince them otherwise
Yeah.
either. Those people will go like, "Oh, he's lying," which is fine, whatever. But yeah, it's just yeah. I do think though ultimately, to a degree, it had to be wear and tear from 25 years because that's the thing too. This injury has happened to guys who have done far less. dangerous things than me throughout their career, and it happened way sooner, you know? Sometimes it's just bad luck. And I think in that match, those two things that happened were just off by this much, and it just changed everything, you know?
Yeah. I remember when you got the double knee surgery in like 2018, was it, or 2019?
Yeah.
Um, what does your recovery process look like? Aside from all the like physical rehab and stuff that you'll have to do, are you sitting on the couch watching movies, shows? Are you going to pick up a new hobby? You're going to crack open that guitar case that you got?
Yeah, actually, I really should. I haven't picked up that guitar in quite a while.
I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking, when is he going to send me a video of him playing
I,
Wonderwall or something? I'm going to be like, oh, he learned a couple chords.
I got to figure out how. It just seems so complicated, man. Like
You should have started with bass.
you'd send me the videos. I got a bass. I didn't even open it yet. But like you'd send me the videos on YouTube. I should look, and I'm like, oh, this seems so hard. Maybe I'll give it a shot. But I actually don't rest as much as I should ever. Even the double knee surgeries, I probably should have been laid up for a good 2 weeks. And like 2 days later, I was walking around Universal Studios with my kids. So that's just kind of how I am. I got ACL surgery back in 2002. And that night, I went to see a movie, like at the movie theater, like on my crutches. My mom was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
You
"I don't
remember
know."
what movie it was or no?
No, I don't remember that one. But I also did the same thing in 2005. I had knee surgery, which it wasn't ACL, it was like a torn meniscus. So I got a scope, and you're still supposed to rest. And like same thing, I was on my crutches. I went to see King Kong that night.
Oh, nice. Peter Jackson. Yeah, good one.
Mom's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I get bored. I can't do it." And even my wife now was telling me like, "Well, now you get the chance to rest." Like, yeah, but I don't want to, I'm gonna get bored. She's like, "You're
Yeah.
okay to be bored." I'm like, anyway. So I'm sure it'll be more the same as soon as I'm able to move around. I'm sure I'll be doing that. And then, I have some pretty cool cars that I really enjoy driving, and I don't get to drive them as much as I wish because I'm not around. So I get to do that. And yeah, there's definitely, and just getting to spend more time with my kids and my wife and the family obviously is priceless. But it's daunting, man. Like it's daunting to not, you kind of don't know what's ahead now. So we'll see.
Yeah. When did you become a car guy? Were you always fascinated with cars? And then when you had the
Oh,
money to buy awesome ones, you were like, let's do
yeah, pretty
this?
much. Yeah, I never cared about cars at all. And then in 2015, I rented a Dodge Charger. It was me and Neville actually on that particular loop. We rented a car. It was a Dodge Charger. And like at up to that point, I didn't realize that cars have different engines and some of them like more horsepower, less. I had no idea. So I'm driving this Charger, and I guess it was like it was a Hemi engine,
I don't know
which
what that means.
exactly I didn't know either. But it was just it's more powerful than a regular Dodge Charger. So as I'm passing people, I'm like, whoa, like you feel. And even Neville's like, "You love it, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, what is this?" He goes, "Well," and then he starts explaining this stuff to me like, I had no idea. So then I wanted to buy a new car because I was starting to make decent money. So I went to see a Dodge Charger, and then I drove it, and I'm like, "Ah, it doesn't have the same kick." And then the
You need the
dealer,
Hemi.
yeah, the guy's like, "Well, it's not, you probably had a Hemi engine." I'm like, "I don't even know what that is." So anyway, so I go back to the dealership, and in my head, I'm like, I'm probably not going to buy it. And then I go inside to use the bathroom, and I walk past a Hellcat, which is the craziest engine you can have at that point. And I'm like, whoa. And it looks way cooler than the regular Charger. So that's what attracted me. Is like, it looks so cool. I'm like, whoa, what
Yeah.
is that? He goes, oh, that one's a Hellcat. I'm like, what does that mean? And then he
Such a
explained.
good name too. As soon as he says that, you're kind of like, I kind of
And
want
I
a
looked at the
Hellcat.
emblem on the side. I'm like, I'm getting it.
You got by it that day.
Yeah, that day. He's like, have you ever driven something like that? I'm like, no. He's like, okay, well, he was telling me the first person who drove a Hellcat out of a dealership had it wrapped around a light pole 30 seconds later. So please be careful. Which, here's the thing. I have all these crazy cars. I'm very, very careful. I don't drive fast. I just like the ability to be able to pass someone quickly if I need to. And I just like I don't know, the feel of, I just like it. But yeah, I don't drive crazy. Like I have people tell me, have you ever taken them to a track? I'm like, no. They're like, what are you doing? What are you? But yeah, so that's when it all started. I with that Charger Hellcat, and then they kept coming out with cool cars. The one thing is, I always wanted a Lamborghini, which now people know I have one because it was, it was, I it was on.
Yeah, I saw that.
I always wanted a Lamborghini when I was a kid. I thought it was the coolest looking car. And as I started, getting cars that I liked, I always thought like, man, maybe one day I'll get one. And then I rented one for my birthday last year just for the day, just for fun. And I'm like, this is cool. I'm getting one. So that's when I finally ended up pulling the trigger. Because you know what? This all could end tomorrow, as
Yeah.
been clearly proven this week for me. I don't take anything for granted. So I'm like, yeah, so there's maybe I shouldn't be spending this money, but I also want to live and have fun. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you buy all black cars? I've seen a couple of your cars are black or no.
No, I actually I did have a few black ones for a while. The Charger was black, the Hellcat had a black Corvette, a black truck, but I find black cars pretty boring. So
Okay.
now all the cars I have are pretty colorful. And the one black car I had left, I wrapped in the green with it's got a giant T-Rex on it.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that. That's very Kevin Owens. Also, bringing up Neville, he was one of my favorite opponents you had. Like, you had a
Yeah.
couple matches back in 2014 to 2018
We
era.
Yeah, we wrestled quite a bit in 2015, 2016,
Yeah.
and it's always a treat. He's man, like there's a lot of people that can claim they're the best in the world, and it's never true because you'll never be able to nail down who's the best in the world. But Pac is one of the guys that does not get that accolade enough, and I've been in the ring with him. He's as good as anyone I've ever been in the ring with.
Wow.
For,
Yeah. I mean, I believe that based on the matches you guys have had, the chemistry was there immediately.
he's great.
Yeah. So I mean, I have some other things before we knew about the injury that are not injury related, just general Kevin Owens wrestling related. I heard on Cousin Sal's podcast this week, you made a few pitches for extravagant entrances in your past that have always gotten shut down or pushed back. Do you
Yeah.
remember any of these pitches?
Well, yeah. So they're not even extravagant. That's the funny part. One year, the first WrestleMania, I pitched to Vince, hey, what if the live band is playing my music, but when I come out, I'm looking at them and I just start smashing all the instruments because they're like, taking the spotlight off of me. And he goes, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you bring them here to play your music and then smash their instruments? And I go, well, no, I think people would assume that WWE had them. And then I did. He goes, but why would you be mad they're playing your music? I'm like, because like I have to share the stage with them. He goes, no. Okay. So, and then the other one was WrestleMania 39 in LA. Me and Sammy are in the ring during the afternoon looking at everyone's entrances that they're like rehearsing all these crazy entrances. And we're like, man, we're in the main and we don't have any. So we look at each other. Maybe maybe we could at least come from the crowd or something. So we tell Triple H, it's like everybody's got these crazy entrances and we don't have anything. And he goes, yeah, you guys don't need anything. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, you guys are just gritty and like, you're not the kind of guys who would have these big elaborate entrances. I'm like, all right, well, can we come out from the crowd? And he looks around, he's like, look around. Where are you gonna come from? I'm like, this is gonna take forever. And I go, yeah, I guess that's true. That's right there too. One day though, I'll get the
It's tough because I would like to see that. At the same time, I understand like if there's anyone that doesn't need it, it kind of is Kevin Owens.
yeah. So the only thing that gives me comfort in that, which because I know it's bullshit. They just don't want to give me it.
I don't know.
Like,
I feel like it's the Stone Cold thing, no?
anyway, okay. So yeah, but even Steve had the broken glass sometimes, or he had
True.
the ATV, which last year. So this is funny. It's all linked. I would always take comfort in knowing that who never got cool entrances is Randy Orton, and he's as badass as it gets because he never needed them either. Except one year, man. We've talked about this before, me and him. WrestleMania 33. The ramp had graphics on it.
Hmm.
And I watched his match from a suite where my family was, so I could look down. His graphic was a viper, but it just looked like a sperm
I remember.
following him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, So
And
that
you
was
told him that? You were like, dude, the entrance did
he
not go
knew. He knew
well.
right
Oh, he knew.
away. He knew in the afternoon. I'm being followed by a giant sperm.
But yeah,
Uh,
you can't redo the graphics. I mean, they're locked and
yeah.
loaded.
So, but then last year, uh, that during the afternoon, I go, hey, can I come out in a golf cart? Because the night before, me and Randy had chased Waller and Theory in a golf cart. So I'm like, it's very typical, or it makes sense from yesterday. Um, so they're like, yeah, okay. And then I realized, I'm like, man, it would be so cool if I came and got Randy too. So then
Yeah.
we get to the idea of I go down, Randy comes out, I come back up,
Back
and
it up.
yeah, and that was cool. That was cool. That's probably the coolest entrance I'll ever get to do, but that's good. It's
I
fine.
like that. And it was paired with the ECW graphics in Philly you had. I
Yeah,
thought that was cool. Was that your
that was
idea?
so that was my idea. I talked to Paul first. I want to make sure he was okay with it. Um, and yeah, I just thought, it's a cool little tribute to where we were, and it looked really cool. And
It
Sarat
looked
made me
great.
the shorts in that, design as well. So yeah, that was cool.
Another thing I haven't seen you address, we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to. Accusation that you and Sammy are hard to work with. I saw
Yeah,
this from an interview that Matt Riddle did recently. I was curious if
yeah.
you saw it or if it took you by surprise at all.
No, it didn't take me by surprise, but I did see it. It's funny, because coming from him, I have nothing against him at all, but he's to me, he's a guy who had really amazing opportunities handed to him, like being Randy's tag team partner for so long and basically getting to ride the coattails of a legend. And he managed to screw it all up, not because of his abilities, because he's very talented and very athletic, but because of his own attitude and poor choices. So for him to say that we're hard to work with or whatever it is, and he couldn't get a word in, there was a pretty good reason for that. Like he you look at his track record and you look at our track record, I think that speaks for itself. But if that's how he felt, it's fine. I can't say he's wrong when he said like it was hard to get a word in. Probably was because we probably didn't let him get a word in too much just because we've been around him and we 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 work a certain way and it works. So yeah.
It's fair. On the flip side of that, are there people other than Sammy? Let's disqualify Sammy from this because we know how well you guys worked together. Who are the names in the locker room that you love working with? Like that you're very excited to like put together something with?
Yeah, and man, there's so many answers to that. It's more like there honestly, there's nobody I could say that I don't like. And even Riddle, like it's not like I didn't like
Yeah.
working. It's just there's guys that I'll probably put more trust in than him, for a lot of
Mhm.
reasons. Um, but the guys that like I see if I'm in the ring with them that night, I know this is gonna rule and it's gonna be easy to make it rule. John Cena obviously is one of them. Sammy, you already said. Roman, Seth, and obviously those are pretty obvious answers. Um, but those guys are just there's a reason why they've been where they are for so long. Is because the it's not even just their in-ring abilities. It's the mind and the
Yeah.
what they bring mentally. Um, but it's not always a recipe for miracles. Like me and AJ will talk about it all the time. We're both really good at this, but for some reason, our matches for a long while like just didn't hit. And we both would come back and go, wow, what happened? Like, I don't know. Try again next time. And the fans acknowledge it all the time, like Kevin and AJ, it's no chemistry, I guess. And yeah, I don't know. Some guys it just works better than others. I don't know.
I think I was there for the best KO AJ match. The
Yeah.
only thing I would say that's a detriment to it was the house show where he dropped the title.
That's the thing. That's the funny part. We worked on live events, worked with each other on live events so many times, and walk out of there going, "Hey, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, great."
MSG was rocking for that
Yeah,
match.
and dude, as soon as there's a TV camera pointed at us, everything just doesn't work. So weird.
Another thing, since the last time we've done this, you've main evented WrestleMania twice. And I know this is probably a question you've gotten a lot, but I'm curious, after doing something like that, obviously you always have aspirations to make your promos or matches or whatever you're involved in the best they can be. But do you still feel like you have goals or things that you feel like you have to hit before you end your career, call it a career?
No, honestly, I really don't. So for
And
a
I think
bit,
that's understandable.
yeah. So for a little bit, I was thinking I'd love to main event WrestleMania Night 2, just because there are those people who claim, well, WrestleMania Night 1, main eventing WrestleMania Night 1 is not really the main event. But now that's done because this year Roman and Punk are main eventing Night 1. So clearly it happened. No, it's the real main event. So that put it to rest. So I'm glad now I can say it's officially. So that's done now. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's matches I'd love to have.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to wrestle Finn at WrestleMania because we've been really close since we met in WWE, and he's one of those guys I consider more like family than a friend, and I'd love to get to share that experience with him. And up until this year, I really want to wrestle Rey Mysterio one-on-one. I had never had the chance to do that. I got to do it in January, and I'd love to do it again. Um, so there's, and wrestling Randy at WrestleMania was going to be a huge, check off the bucket list. Obviously, that might have to happen some other time. And I think one of the things that really hurts about this injury actually is that now I know I won't get to wrestle John one last time, because that's not going to happen now. And I was really hoping I get to do that before he's done.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I had a lot of matches with him that I look back fondly on. So that's great. Man, the only thing I really wish would happen that I would really, and it's probably not gonna happen. I can't say for sure. It's so hard. I know for sure it won't happen, but I still have the hope that one day Shawn Michaels is gonna come back for one match and it'll be with me. But very unlikely. But yeah, I guess
That's
that's
this kind of stuff you got to manifest and put out there, though.
yeah. I mean, I manifest it to his phone all the time by text. Lets him down. Um, yeah. So if you ask me, is there one, like, if they were like, okay, the one thing you need to do in anything for like before your career's done, what is it? Like a match with Shawn Michaels would be it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Do you think there's any chance that you can be back this year before Cena is done? I was thinking about that.
I
If the
really,
timetables would line up.
well, so that's the thing. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know how long. I haven't talked to the surgeons at length about the surgery that's required or what that means. I just know like what I've seen from other guys going through neck surgery. Um, but then I've also like I've been reading up on stuff, and I've seen certain kinds of surgeries that are, maybe they could work and it's a lot less recovery time, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not right for that. I have no idea. I have to talk to the surgeons first.
Yeah.
So, man, I would love to though. I'd love to wrestle John one last time. I actually, when I heard he was coming back, I looked at the calendar and I saw that May 31st, which is would be the 10th anniversary of our first match at Elimination Chamber, is on a Saturday night. So it's like, man, if we had a show that night, it would be so perfect. But
Yeah.
that's definitely not happening now. So
Yeah. Damn. I'm sorry about that, dude. Timing sucks. I know you don't want the sympathy, but it fucking sucks.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
There's no way around
And listen, I know you're often your own worst critic, but I hope that you're at least a little proud of what you accomplished this year so far. Because I thought the two matches you had at the PLEs were show stealing matches. And I thought your promos were great, whether it was, cutting a promo in your car, cerebral promo in your car, or putting on Match of the Night. Nobody was changing the channel when Kevin Owens was on TV.
Yeah, even though I had a very short year in theory, now that it's, in theory, like my work is over for this year, I do really love the last 4 months and the matches I've had, the promos. I got to talk shit to Matthew McConaughey. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
you did.
You know?
That
So
was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, I
Right in
had a
his
blast. So
face.
even though, I may not have another match until 2026, I still consider 2025 a pretty successful year all around. So
Good.
yeah.
I'm glad you do. You should. And there's little bright side things. I saw you talking about your daughter's birthday was right after WrestleMania. No
Yeah.
distractions now, right? Maybe you'll get to go see the Oasis tour with no obstacles in your way.
True.
Hopefully it'll
Still got
serve you
to
well.
I still got to get the tickets, but yeah, that's definitely going to happen now. That's a great outlook there. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find the silver linings in this thing, all right?
Now, what actually, it hit me yesterday that Guns N' Roses is going on a world tour. They're not coming to
Yes,
America, but now
I know.
I have no reason not to be able to go.
Weird
So
tagline. Did you see the
yeah,
tagline for the tour?
I remember thinking it's weird, but I don't remember what it is.
It's like when you can't get what you want, you'll get what we give you, or something. It's like, what does that mean?
I mean, it's a, I guess it's a philosophy. You can't.
Yeah, it'll be the first tour with a new drummer too. Did you see
Oh yeah,
that?
yeah. I saw that the other one was leaving. Okay.
Yeah. My brother knows the new drummer a little bit and is happy about the choice. Thinks it's a very good choice for them. So yeah, you got Guns N' Roses, Oasis. Maybe it'll be the summer of KO at concerts. You go to a concert,
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
see KO
I
stunnering
love
someone.
I love concerts.
Yeah, I know.
It's yeah. Shakira's coming to Orlando soon. Maybe I'll go see her too. Who
You like
knows?
several of her songs. That's been all
It's
over.
true, yeah. You're at
All
a
right,
concert
Kevin.
this year, regardless of who it is. Look around. I might be there.
Head on a swivel. KO may be inbound. Yeah. Kevin, I appreciate you. I love you for your friendship over the years. You've been a great guy and wish you the best in your recovery and your surgery and all of it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.